Good afternoon, good evening, good night. We are live. Demon Venue, Living World of Darkness. After much soul searching and almost emotional trauma from the encounter with Lily, Marcus has taken a time out. His trusted confidant, Frank, the Sicilian or Italian by nature, good-humoured person that's always had his back, has decided to take him out for a quick spin around New York City in his car. For a stop off at a local takeaway or restaurant, just so it's giving Marcus the opportunity and the time to speak to him about his problems. To introduce the cast of characters, switching to Frank himself. Even though he's heavily Italian set, he has a perfect New Yorkian American accent. But he does occasionally slip into the Italian, which is an excuse for the storyteller to do and engage in poor Italian impersonations. The car drives along the road, and we're getting to stages or parts of New York where it's actually quite quiet in this part of the evening. Frank turns down the radio as he looks over at Marcus as he's driving. So, boss, what's eating you up?
Nothing much, old friend. Just, you know Lily, right, Mr. Shiko?
Yeah, dinky little Asian girl that hangs around. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice tush.
Hmm?
What's this, man? You tapping that?
No. I care for her, though.
Oh man, he looks over at you. So that's not good. That sounds like the L word to me.
Yes, it is. It is the L word. It's all the worse that she has a boyfriend who I am very close friends with.
Oh man. So it's you don't wanna? No, we could take care of that for you if you like. He's smiling, good natured and humoured at you.
He looks over at Frank and he does grin, but it's clearly forced. And he really, out of character, Frank does know what Marcus is, and he knows what Lily is.
Yeah.
He's been warned.
He's joking in his gimmick here. He knows it's impossible, but he's just saying it.
Yeah, the boyfriend is one of my kind. Frank is kind of hard to kill. Believe me, others have tried.
Damn, man, that sounds like a bum deal.
Hmm. The worst thing is I get the feeling she cares for me in the same way, but for whatever reason, she clings to that bastard. You know, he's been out of the country for months. Barely calls her, barely speaks to her. Away for months. I'm here the whole time.
Yeah, well, you know me, boss. Son. You know, love never works that way. You can be here for that person all you want, and they're still hung up on some guy. He's got them wrapped around his little finger, and that's all I can say about that.
Yeah. I don't know what to do anymore. A part of me thinks just say fuck it. Ask the commission or even ask the Dawn to get me shifted over to Sicily. Fuck it, leave the country. Get
Man,
out of life.
yeah, I've worked for you a long time, boss, and I know we've gone through some bad times with you, and when you hit rock bottom, but this sounds like chicken shit running away, in my opinion.
It is. It is running away.
And I don't think I've never seen you quit. Quit on life maybe, but not quit on your duty.
Considering I jumped off a bridge, I think this is. I think going back to the old country is hardly worse.
Yeah, well, maybe there's some new shit going on there. I mean, after all, who knows what is walking around in the old country if you're anything to say by.
That's true. Some of the stuff I've seen in this city. I never would have believed it.
Yeah, pretty groovy shit. That's all I can say.
Vampires, werewolves, mages, fucking fairies running around.
Yeah, I saw that. They have a parade there as well, don't they? Fucking
Oh,
fairies.
oh no, I mean actual fairies, like mythological changeling things. Like the whole wings, snatching children, that bullshit.
Rainbows
Yeah, the whole crock of gold nonsense.
and two daddies. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Kind of fucked up shit New York is.
Mm.
And what is so fucking believable is this fucker that's in my back mirror, in my rear view mirror. Excuse me, boss. He looks over his rear view mirror. There's a car that's basically tailgating you. He sort of takes you off as he comes off the like the expressway and into sort of the slip roads that go down into what is it, like New York suburb areas. Fucking goddamn blue cunt. I can't believe driving laws in this goddamn city. It pissed me off. Excuse me, they pull up to a red stop sign and sort of Frank looks over you, sort of punches you sort of gently on the arm. It's like, chin up, boss. I think things will work fine. If you say your piece to this girl, then she may be stupid and she know that you're there. She may come running to you eventually.
Hmm. I doubt it.
I don't. If you say that she has feelings for you, then you're not the friend zone. You're the backup. You're a dick in a glass case to her. And now, if he fucks up, that is so far away, then she'll come running to you, and things will be good.
Hmm. I wish. I know Lily well enough to know that wouldn't happen. That's the worst thing. As long as he's alive, she'll never want me. And I can't kill him. He's been dead once before, and the fucker didn't stay dead.
Uh, Boss, I don't pretend to understand the shit that goes on with you and what you are, but love is love, man.
Mm.
Maybe she has feelings for you, but she can't act upon them because she feels duty, not some involvement with some other guy that's so far away. Maybe she feels bound to this person because that's her character. I don't know.
Hmm. Maybe, but she's never seen that Asian.
Well, if you have a thing for Asians, boss, I'm sure I can set you up with somebody.
Nah.
Now, excuse me one second. He stops the car. And the other car behind that's been tailgating you stopped as well. The red light, and Frank pops the sort of the seat belt and gets out the front door, walks back up to the back of the car from your seat, and he pops the boot, and you can hear him shouting, "Do you want to get in my fucking boot? For God's sakes, do you want to fucking get in the boot?" To this person in the back in this sort of blue Honda or something like that. Do you want to make a perception plus alertness roll, please? 27.
Okay, just give mouse a chance to actually work because it's a piece of shit. Come on, mouse.
Would you like me to roll for you?
I hold on. I need to. It wouldn't even let me check my character sheet. Hold on. Perception alertness. You said
Difficulty.
difficulty 7. Oh, I love these rolls. Oh my god. 2 7s.
Wow. You got 2 sevens. That's 2 successes. Okay, so the first thing you notice about this Honda is a figure gets out of it as well. So out the driver's side, there's a single person in the back of the car. In the other car, it's been tailgating you for the past couple of miles. It's a young woman. She looks rather pretty, and this is what she looks like. She's like wearing a sort of duffel bags across a sort of across like a shoulder, and she's been wearing this big, heavy, thick coat, which is uncharacteristic for this time of year, I guess. She gets out of the car as well. Uh, Frank was like all the rage at this point, a bit of road rage, but it's a young girl that gets out of this car, and so he starts to simmer down. And you can hear him saying, "What the hell, miss? What are you doing? Why are you trying to ram my ass like this?" And then things change. The next order of what happens is you see this girl reach into a bag, and then you see Frank go, "Oh shit!" And you see Frank reaching into his jacket pocket. Slow motion now descends upon this scene as your perceptions from where you are. You can see a pistol being pulled from the girl's bag, and she aims it steadily at Frank, or shakingly at Frank. Frank responds with his pistol, and you hear her say something, scream something at him that sounds heavily accented, like a Polish accented English, about her dad or her father or some family. And then you hear two gunshots.
He Marcus will immediately jump out of the car, and I will spend the point of faith to immediately assume full APOC.
Okay, so you go full APOC form, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and as he does that, he will use Voice of Heaven
Mm-hmm.
and roar, "On your knees, human."
Okay, there's no need to make any kind of roll for that. Once you basically you jump out of this of your car, this is what I'm seeing, and then you spend the point of faith and you unleash your full apocalyptic form. You say the words, and the woman drops to her knees.
Marcus will walk up there and actually grab her by the throat.
Before you do that, she drops to her knees and then she slumps to the side of the car and hits her head against the bonnet. There's a gunshot in her chest, and blood is sort of blossoming out onto her blouse.
In that case, seeing that, Marcus will turn to Frank. He cares less about the girl, and will say to him, "I can help you, but there's only one way I can do it. I need
Frank,
you."
Frank will stumble against the side of the car.
Marcus will reach out to grab him.
Oh, fucking it. Oh, I'm sorry, boss. I appear to be shot. He's
Make,
holding on to a wound in his chest.
make a pact. Make a deal with me. Just do it now, and I can save you.
Fuck you talking about, boss?
Look, you trust me, right?
Yeah, I trust you, boss.
And trust me to save you. Agree to do that. Just trust me to save you. Put your faith in me, and I can save you.
Yeah. He's sort of like sort of grins half like you, coughs. It's like, I always got your back, boss. I think I recognize that girl. She's some kid that I remember going to see her daddy sometime. He was running behind on his payments. And you know how we are in the family about people that miss their payments. And I remember taking some baseball bat to that guy's head. And I remember putting her daddy in hospital because he wasn't making his payments there. Now, I got all the faith in you in the world, boss. And just, I think, what the fuck am I talking about? I think I maybe the only kind of angel in this organization. Maybe it's her you should be looking for, not me.
She just shot my oldest friend. I'm, she deserves it.
Now, boss, I'm sure one that you love, she won't say things like that. She likes you because of you, and I'm sure that you go for somebody who is innocent and protect their life more than some person like me. Like, yeah, I ain't no angel. Not like you, boss.
Frank, I'm a demon. Fallen from heaven, fallen from grace. I'm no angel. I've seen hell. I've seen it.
Now, maybe this is your chance, boss. Maybe all you need to have is to have something like innocence, saving innocent again, and you can go back to where you come from.
No, they won't let me back. I don't want to go back. Just let me help you.
Uh, you already have, boss. In fact, you could do us a favor, and he reaches into his pocket. He pulls out a cigarette. You, I gotta say, can you give me a light?
He will light it, but
Uh, Frank will take a big, long drag on this, and he'll look at you and he'll go, "No, I don't know how you work, boss, but if you want to be good, then maybe you should save for the innocent, not some old crook like me."
I'm worse than you ever were, old friend.
Yeah, but I beat up some old daddy. And now she's after my blood because of that. This wasn't for you, this was for me.
Don't do this. Don't do this. Just let me save you. Just agree.
I will agree, boss, if you save her first.
I don't have time.
You got all the time in the world, boss. I ain't going nowhere.
He'll lower Frank. He'll let Frank go. If he's going to go to the ground, he'll help him. He will, and he'll turn to the girl, and he'll actually attempt basically to smack her to wake her up. He's not being gentle.
She's semi-conscious still, and the first thing that you notice is she's silently whimpering, and tears are running down her face. It's like the gravity of her situation and what she's just done is she's more from the initial impression that you get her reactions are more from what she's done rather than the injury that's been inflicted upon her.
I can help you, human. I can save you. All you have to do is put your faith in me, trust in me. trust in an angel.
She looks up at you and there's like a blur across her eyes, like she's trying to make out what you look like and who you are. And then she says something in Polish, which, if you've been around any kind of Polish people, you
Uh,
know is the word.
shall I use law of humanity 1, which is translate?
Well, if you have that, then it kicks in.
Yeah,
I don't care about the
yeah.
roll.
So I can speak. I know what she's saying.
She says, "Father."
And Marcus will latch onto that and go, "No, but I've seen him. I can. He sent me to save you. He wants me to save you."
She says something in Polish again, which will be translated. Father, how are you here? Why are you not still in the hospital?
Because this is the moment when you get saved, my girl.
Daddy, I've avenged you.
I know. Now, trust me. You promise to trust me, don't you?
I disappointed you, though, Dad. You always said that violence never stops, or if you continue meeting with violence. She's she's gone with it. She's not lucid at all. This is rambling, but you're picking up with translate sort of key meanings to her sentences.
Yeah, he's just going to grab her lapels essentially and just go almost screaming into her face. Let agree, let me help you. Just agree.
Okay, are you still in your apocalyptic form at this point?
Yeah, full APOC, yeah.
Okay,
It's all low torment, but still.
okay. So one thing that you do notice in the suburb areas, there are people or two people that are rushing over to where you are. They have yet to see your apocalyptic form.
Uh, noticing that, I'm actually going to make a conscience roll.
Okay.
And then depending on the result of that, I may need to make a conviction roll.
Yeah.
So conscience success. So his conscience has kicked in. So now a conviction roll. And again, his conviction has clung. What has essentially happened, if you'll allow it, is his essentially the conscience of old Erebus, the one that he was before he became racked with torment, the one he strives to be, the original Luciferian, has kicked in, and he knows what he has to do. There's only one thing he can do to save the life of his oldest friend, and this, according to Frank at least, innocent young woman. But it's going to cost him potentially. It's going to potentially devastate him. But there's only one way he can do it. There's only one thing he can do that's morally right. He can't force them into a deal. Neither of them are agreeing, so he can't heal them that way. His law of awakening isn't strong enough to heal them himself. And so his conviction, his force of self-belief, that knowledge that this is the only path. And as soon as they get in range, he will again use Voice of Heaven and command them to come quickly and call ambulances. For there are people who have been shot and need help. And even when they get close enough to see his APOC form, he doesn't extinguish it, he doesn't back off, he allows them to see him in full APOC. He allows them to know there is an angel standing there commanding them to get ambulances.
Okay, first things first. I don't need a roll for any of the powers of heaven that you're using. I think I'd like to have a perception plus empathy roll from you. Difficulty 7 because of the conditions you're in.
Okay,
Are two
hold on.
people exactly that are coming towards you. One sort of looks like a truck driver. The other one looks like some shop owner, waitress or something like that.
2 successes.
Okay, no worries. The two people, one will run over to the girl where you are, the truck driver, and the waitress will run over to Frank. The truck drivers will kneel down next to the girl, and he'll turn around and say, "Don't worry, sir, I've taxi. What am I talking about? Ambulances have been called. 10 minutes. They'll be out in 10 minutes' time." And your two successes, they did not bat one eyelid at you being an angel.
Which is strange in and of itself.
The truck driver stands over, sort of kneels down next to the girl and looks her up and down and goes, "She's busted up pretty bad. And from the looks of your friend, I think he's pretty hurt as well."
They've both been shot.
And the ambulance is 10 minutes away. The truck driver looks at you straight in your eyes. Only enough power and time to save one. Who will you choose? This young girl that says she's innocent, or the one that's over there is your trusted confidant and friend that you've known for years, however, has a life perhaps of crime, has no clean slate?
He'll look between the two, and a thought will strike him, a thought that hasn't struck him up until this point. The girl was told by her father, told all her life, that violence wasn't the answer, that violence was wrong, that violence wasn't the right way. She was actually taught to believe that violence was wrong, that it wasn't the right way. And yet her response was to try and murder someone. Her father is alive, but she tried to kill the man responsible. Not just hurt him, to kill him. Whereas Frank was actually saying, save the innocent. Frank feels guilt for his crimes. He genuinely feels he isn't worthy of life. He actually seems to understand that he's done wrong. He does what he does for business, not out of vengeance. It's not petty revenge. It's just business. It's never personal.
The waitress and the truck driver will exchange a glance, and then the truck driver will look back at you and go, "Sounds like you've made your decision already. Will you let this one now go to the dark lands and die and save your friend? Or will you honor his last wish?"
He'll look down at the girl. And then he'll look to the truck driver. What are you? If you lie to me, I will kill you. And he says it in a deadpan voice.
More threats at this time. And this poor girl.
At this point, I've nothing to lose. What are you?
You have this person here, or your friend over there that you'll lose. And you wish to question me now? Come on. Choice. You have a choice here. Save the innocent. Ask what your friend, do what your friend has asked perhaps on his dying breath. Or save your friend to save yourself. Your choice.
Then something will happen with Erebus. his eyes will change. Normally they're a sort of golden colour, but they'll actually turn. They'll look bloodied for a moment. Like even it looks like they've actually started to bleed internally. It's only an image, but that's what they look like. And he'll blink again. They'll go back to gold, and he's just had a realization. The choice is almost identical to one he's faced before. Staying with friends, with service, with loyalty, or sacrificing what he has for the sake of another person, for the sake of the innocent. It's pretty much the same choice he faced in heaven. It's the rebellion choice again. And realizing that, his APOC form just dissipates. It's too much of a shock. He can't bear that fact that he's been put in the same position again. Because he still remembers all the hideous things he did, at least to an extent, during the war. He still, to an extent, remembers the monster he was because of the rebellion. And there is a part of him that regrets it, that wishes he'd taken the other path. And then his eyes move out over the city, look out over New York itself. And he actually starts crying. Because he realizes there isn't really another way. There's only one choice he can make. Because it's the choice he made eons ago. He'll regret it for the rest of his days. He'll regret it always. But it's the same choice he made long ago. And he walks over to Frank and crouches beside him.
Hey,
and
nurse.
Frank,
She good? You did it?
I can't. I don't have the time. But
What can you say, boss? Come on, you can do it.
no.
I'll be here. I'm not finished with my cigarette yet. I'm cool.
I know what's going to happen, old friend. I'm going to go and you'll die.
Don't be stupid, boss. This fine lady here says the ambulance is on his way. 5 minutes, and I'll be in the tender care of those tasty nurses, right?
Marcus puts his hand on Frank's shoulder. I hope so. But just in case. If you don't make it, I want you to know that I've always respected you.
That's fucking crazy talk, boss. I ain't gonna die. I'm fucking invincible.
You earned the place of Capo long ago. You earned your own crew.
Yeah, you know what? You're goddamn right.
So if you do make it, I'll talk to the Don. But you have to make it for that. Talk to you soon, eh? And with that, he'll get up and he'll walk over to the girl. Again, activating his APOC form. Only his wings this time, but still. And he'll pick up the girl. And he'll look to the truck driver and the waitress. I don't know what you both are, but whatever the fuck it is, don't interfere in my affairs again.
The waitress will come over to where the truck driver is standing now. And they'll look at you as you're holding the girl in your arms with the wings unfurled. We'll have to make our choices, and at least we now know that you are on the right track. We will not interfere again.
What are you?
We're just observers. We are a organization.
Well, I want you to know then. I'll be watching. If I hear any more about you people ever again, then it'll be me looking for you.
Worry not about us, for we intend to forge an alliance with yourself and those of your court that stand within this city. We only wish for peace between us, because even though the throne is empty, Father would have wanted it.
He'll just look horrified at the word father. And then a strange smile will come across his face. It's possibly the most evil expression he's ever worn in his with a more or less human face. And he stares into their eyes. And there is actual hatred in that expression. It's genuine, visceral hatred. As he just says, "Tell Michael I'll be waiting." And he will proceed to take to the air.
As you unfurl your wings to fly and take off, they both nod in unison, and then you can hear them both singing as you take to the skies. Our God is an awesome God who reigns from heaven above. With wisdom, power, and love, our God is an awesome God. And then they both stop singing and they both look at each other and go, "What the fuck?" And then you hear screams as the waitress clocks eyes on the guy, Frank, that's lying sort of bleeding against the car. And they all start getting their phones out and start making phone calls and generally being panicked.
Marcus will fly the girl to the hospital, to the nearest hospital, deliver her at the entrance, and he will actually stand there, wings unfurled in front of the receptionist, fully aware there are almost certainly cameras, and he will say to the receptionist, "Ensure she lives, or I will be back." And I'll roll manipulation, intimidation for that one.
There's no need. Oh.
Alright. Yeah, because basically he's trying to present the image, I'm an angel. You don't want me to come back.
Yeah, I think they'll get their impression that you're quite serious about the whole thing. It doesn't take too long. There's obviously revelation, moments of panic, and the atypical thing that you see if you're a flying person. A lot of curiosity, a lot of people taking camera phones out.
Yeah.
And but they'll take the girl off out of your arms, and they'll gurney her away into the operating theatre.
Yeah. Marcus will actually make a point of saying to the people with the cameras, knowing that his own face it's slightly changed, it's not exactly his own, he'll probably be recognizable to anyone who knows him. So if his own grandfather sees the images, he'll recognise his grandson underneath the visage of an angel.
Hmm.
But most people won't be able to make the connection between the two men. And he'll just say, from this day forward, New York is defended. And at that point, he will leap into the air, taking flight again. And he'll fly back in the direction towards where he left Frank. He's reasonably certain his friend is dead, but he's making his way there, hoping, if nothing else, to be able to retrieve the body.
So it's good. It's a good flight between the Mercy Hospital where you go to and the sites where you seen where you were. So it's in the evenings anyway. So by the time that you arrive there, the whole thing is basically become an enclosed police cordon. There's an ambulance there, and people are being questioned. Sort of the atypical like 1, 2, 3, 4 little sort of signposts have been put on the ground to indicate where the bullets and the shells have landed, and there's a whole lot of confusion. You do notice though that there is a body bag being put into an ambulance.
Marcus will, again, not seeming to care, will land in wings out in the center of the crime scene.
Okay.
Making a point to actually land facing the guy who, as far as he can tell, is leading the whole affair. The guy who at least seems to be giving the orders.
So it'll probably be sort of incident coordinator,
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
One sec. Okay, so some sort of portly gentleman with more than two chins, who's taking notes and sort of coordinating area, with a pen in his mouth. The pen drops out of his mouth as you land in front of him, and a lot of police and people are freaking out.
Yeah, Marcus will make a point of looking this man right in the eyes. He has a suspicion that if this guy commits this angelic face to memory, if he sees a picture of Marcus, he might just recognize it eventually. And Marcus will say to the man, pointing to the body bag, ensure that that body is seen to well. If this is ill-treated, I will come for you, human.
Make a perception alertness roll, please.
Okay. One success.
Every single person in this crowd looking upon you, looking at you, all of a sudden go, and they all look at you with blank expressions. And the police detective in his voice will say, with reverence and respect, you're making a scene.
I don't care anymore. And I thought you said you wouldn't interfere.
And oh, I didn't expect you to be so stupid with your powers. Now that is how we first found you. No,
Doesn't matter anymore.
no, then perhaps
You've
time here should be back towards the abyss and not in this city anymore.
You've chosen to tear apart my world.
Now, we chose to give you a choice to see if your soul can be saved, or like some of your other brethren, we have no option left. We can't possibly ally with you, but we can. There is nobility in your soul. There is ability and the way back towards heaven. Is it perhaps something that you may wish? To be able to offer redemption for all the crimes against Father. Ability to take back your angelic mantle and do good work again.
Would you mind? Is there any sort of perception awareness all these characters can make to detect supernatural things? I'm guessing there is, because essentially, the minute they start talking about returning to heaven, it looked like his veins and arteries were turning black, and then seemed to take on more of an appearance like cracked stone, like cracked alabaster, and they're actually hurting him. The very idea of returning to heaven is painful to him because he would sooner die. He would sooner suffer utter oblivion than that. And
Okay.
with that, he will look into their eyes and he'll just glare at them.
They misinterpret, or the person that's speaking to you misinterprets your sort of look, and will say to you, "With us lies forgiveness, brother. You are forgiven. We forgive you."
A thought suddenly strikes him, and he just says, "What can I call you then, brother?"
You can always refer to me by the name that Father gave us, and that is Elohim.
Hmm. And you personally?
Suviel.
Suviel. I'm sure I'll be in touch. And with that, he will just take back to the air, making a mental note as he flies that if he ever finds these people, he'll kill them all. And in that instant, it's not a case of these people are particularly cruel or these people have killed Frank. It's not that. It's these people serve the host. They serve the slaver. This is actually less of a tormented decision. This is him actually being moral. Because to his morality, God is evil. The host want to rob humanity of their creativity, of their free will. And these beings seem to want to return to that. That's hideous to him. To want to rob humanity of its free will so collectively is just toxic. And he decides that first chance he gets, that Tom fellow, that Jericho that he spoke to, those mages, they're going to get a visit from him. Because he's reasonably certain mages can help. They have powers that are at least comparable to his own. And if they can find these people in any way, shape, or form, he isn't sure what they are. But the mages might have a better chance of finding them. Because the mages were like little gods in the old days. Oh, by the way, just so you know, he doesn't think they're mages. He thinks it's just some sort of other supernatural force. But he's hoping the mages can help. Because he knows vampires can do jack shit. Werewolves wouldn't help if he asked. Other demons, probably not. He wouldn't go to the changelings if his life depended on it. So mages are really the only option.
Okay.
So he makes that decision and proceeds to fly back to the manor.
And we'll call that scene there.